There we go. So you'll probably see at the bottom, Debbie, the participant numbers will start to go up as attendees drop in, because they'll get a notification now. At the bottom. I can read your screen now. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. As well, we're in, Debbie, what's been the biggest thing that you've noticed in business in the last 3 months?
Sorry, say again.
What's been the biggest change or adaptation you've had to make in the last 3 months?
Just working from home, not going to the office. We haven't had to make any other adaptations, to be fair. Thank God we work in the cloud, and we just picked up and moved home. The only thing that we've implemented that we didn't have before was Microsoft Teams.
How have you found that? I've heard mixed
Brilliant.
reviews about Teams.
No, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The team love it, and you know they just chat to each other like they were sat next to each other and share screens and help each other out. So that's been great, yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, we've heard mixed things about it, but it works. That's good. Hi, Amy. Hi, Jonathan. Oh, everyone else is. They're having lunch. Okay.
It's okay.
All right, we can back on in a second. Yeah. Okay, we'll make a start as we're recording. Thank you, Debbie, for coming along this afternoon, and thank you for the delegates to hear. The session will be recorded, and the link will be made available for people to watch this, those that couldn't make it. Please drop any questions in the chat. Hi, Amy. We've got that message. Please, any questions in the chat, and we'll pick up and we'll answer them at the end. So just a quick recap. I'm Chris Morris, and I'm the co-founder of Q Social Media and Digital U, where we really want to educate and help businesses transition into the digital age. It was a concept that was brought into play about 3 years ago in the real world. And this year we thought, well, because of the coronavirus, let's make the most of our digital skills and put on a conference, week-long conference to help business owners and people. Enough about me, enough about the project. We've got Debbie this afternoon, who's going to talk a little bit about your app stack and how to get the most out of it. Can't speak of Debbie highly enough. She's been fantastic at helping our business, Shoe, really get to grips with apps, particularly Zero, and understanding our numbers and saving us time, more importantly. And I think the key thing for me is if you haven't got the app set up properly from the get-go, it can cause a big mess later on, which is exactly what happened where Debbie came to help us. So I'm going to hand you over now, and okay, Debbie, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Debbie Whittaker. I run a company called Not Just Numbers. We are a cloud accounting practice, gold champion partners with Zero. Other apps are available, and I will talk about that. But we've been doing this so long now that Zero actually was the only one that was available when we first started. So there was no QuickBooks Online, there was no Sage Online. We used to be Sage partners, but I saw Zero demoed in 2010, and I just knew it was going to change the face of accountancy. And being a rebel accountant who wanted to not work the same way as everybody else and wanted to be, just wanted everybody to have fantastic systems and information at their fingertips, this was like a dream come true to me. So it's just got better and better and better. So I'll just share my screen, and then
yeah, I think that's the key there, Debbie. At least having the information readily available.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's about working in real time. It's about, for me, you know, Deborah Ogden talked yesterday about visibility, and that's what this is all about. It's having information, data at your fingertips, so you can run your business efficiently and effectively, and you can make decisions. And it's about having accurate information, and also it's about efficiency as well. You know, it's about making everything as efficient as possible so you can get on and run your business. So you have to bear with me because I'm on a scroll down. So basically, what is an app stack? So the definition of a stack is a community of software that works together to achieve a common objective. Now, we've put some of our favourites together. By no means is this the end. There are over 700 apps on the Zero app marketplace. And actually, most of these apps will also work with QuickBooks and Sage Online as well. So you're not limited to Xero, but we have Xero in the centre of absolutely everything we do. Why have an app stack? Well, basically, it allows businesses to scale up and grow as all this software does the heavy lifting for you. It's around sharing information seamlessly with your accounting package. It's about boosting efficiency and increasing your productivity. So obviously, with every app comes a cost, but we don't like to think of it as a cost. We like to think of it as an added value. So it's, we sort of say, how much time can you save by implementing these apps and having them set up correctly and working for your business? Because if you can charge out £100 an hour, and something like Receipt Bank saves you 4 hours a month in processing invoices, you do the maths. I'm an accountant. I haven't got my calculator with me, so just sort of do the maths on it. Where do you start? Well, this is an interesting one, because when we started in 2011, 2012, it was easy for us because there were hardly any apps about. We had Xero, Receipt Bank was on the market, and which is data capture, and I think we had Trip Catcher sort of eked into there, which was around recording your mileage. But these days you've got over 700 apps. It is absolutely mind-blowing sometimes. So and a lot of us, including me, we get shiny magpie syndrome, and it's like, oh, there's a new app, let's see what that does. But you really, really have to hone in and think about what you need that particular piece of software to do for your business, and you can get absolutely inundated with and sapped into looking at different apps and thinking, oh, I'll try that one, but you can just waste so much time. So over the years, we've sort of thought, actually that looks really good, but we've gone back to our core set of apps, and we know they work really well, and we've proven it with all our clients. And so it's about honing in on absolutely what you need for your business and not getting sidetracked into the new and shiny thing. So we've just sort of outlined 7 steps to choosing your apps. Initially, it's around defining the problem. So think about what the problem is in your business. Is it people? Is it processes? Is it efficiency? Or is it tech? Have a think about those things and think about what it is you're trying to solve. Secondly, look at what an efficient process looks like. If I could have anything to run my business, and what are the problems? What are the things that are causing me time and headaches? And what would it look like if we could get that efficiency in there? And Amy talked around this yesterday, and with Asana and LastPass and all of those time-saving things. What does efficiency look like? Thirdly, create this a need to have. So what do we absolutely need? What do we want? What would look what would be really nice to have? And then you've got your definite nice to have, your sexy list. What does that? What would be really, really lovely to have? And actually look at your budget. Again, coming back to your budget, don't look at things as a cost. Look at it as a time saving. How much more can I earn by paying for that app to save me time? That's the thing that it comes back to all the time. There is a cost to all of these apps, but it's down to efficiency and time saving. Research the apps. Now, Xero has an app marketplace. If anybody wants me to send the link, I can put the link on afterwards. Speak to your accountant. Generally, accountants, if they're running these apps properly and they've got clients using apps, they'll have come across things. They'll be able to recommend recommend an app, they might be able to put you in touch with one of their existing clients that's already using it, so you can have a chat with them, see how they're finding an app. Where possible and where it's relevant to our business, we try and test these apps in-house first. So we've got an array of apps that we use in-house, and we test, so we've got first-hand experience, and we can then go on and talk to clients around that and recommend things to them. So for me, it's around listening to a client, spotting their issues and problems, and coming up with some recommendations as to what might help. We're not experts in absolutely everything. We do have people that we use to implement, and you know, for the software that we can't implement, and it's around having that network of people that can help you make the right decision. Number 5, all the software companies pretty much have demos. They have 30-day free trials. You can speak to the software companies directly, and most of them will be very willing to do an online demo with you and chat to you about what you really are looking for. And then it's around deciding. And again, when you decide, it's around comparing all the features, looking at the prices, and looking at the usability of an app. When we get to implementation, and Chris and I had this conversation earlier, we have seen some horrors. You know, we've seen some dreadful implementations, and it's around people trying to do things themselves, not really understanding what the system does, not doing the research properly, and it's like anything with tech and systems. It's garbage in and garbage out. So the only thing I can't recommend highly enough is get help with setting up. Whether it's like with Amy yesterday with Asana or whatever that might look like. The better the setup, the more considered the setup, the more relevant to your business the setup, and the training that goes along with that, the better the systems will work, and the more benefit you'll get out of them. So absolutely get help with setup and training. Yes, there's a cost involved, but it will pay dividends if you get the right outcome. And you only have to make one good decision about your business, and that could pay for all of that. So can't recommend that highly enough. Take advice on implementation. Don't try and do it yourself, unless you're a tech expert, that is, and you've got some accountancy, bookkeeping experience, because, you know, as certain people in the room have found, it is all in the setup, and it has to be right. So we start with the accountancy package. That is the hub of everything we do. Again, we've chosen Xero. We love it. It's not the only one on the market. All of these apps will work with QuickBooks, Sage Online. So whatever package you're using, 10 to 1, you can use this with it as well. So you know, we're a bit biased, but we're not saying you can't use it with anything else, because I know these apps do work just as well with the other two. And it's around information just seamlessly integrating and you know, information coming in and out from all areas, and we've sectioned it off into the different areas of the different categories, and the categories we've chosen are just the ones that we tend to deal with. There are so many more categories that you can look at, and so many more pieces of software that will integrate with Xero. So the things we've chosen in the sort of half-hour slot we've got are just literally what we know and love. So we start with data capture, and this is around scanning invoices in, scanning purchases in, scanning expenses in. We use Receipt Bank. It is known, trusted, and very, very loved in our business. It does come with a cost, but it does the heavy lifting. It does the work for you. You scan an invoice in, you can do it on your phone, you can email data into Receipt Bank. It reads it, it fills all the boxes in. You just then publish it into your accounting software, and it takes it into your accounting software with a little PDF, so you never have to go looking again. I'm just going to tell you a little story on Receipt Bank, just to get an idea of time saving. We had a client come to us who had a massive expense claim every month. He had to then prove all his expenses to his client because he was recharging expenses onto the client. A big client, it was with the MOD. And his father was spending a whole day a month photocopying all the receipts onto an A4 piece of paper, PDFing it, and then creating a spreadsheet to analyse it all out. And it came to us and we said, oh, we can do all the expenses through Receipt Bank. It's easy. Scan it all up. We attach it to an expense claim. Expense claim goes straight into zero. You can then attach it to a customer invoice. And when the customer opens it up, they can click on all the little blue links and they can see all the receipts behind it. So everything's there you need. Everything's transparent. They can see absolutely everything, and we can hone the process down. We've got that process down to an hour a month. So we've gone from 8 hours to 1 hour, and the MOD absolutely love it and said that they want everybody to work that way because it is so easy and so transparent and not trying to read PDFs and look and find things. Auto entry we use for scanning bank statements in, although Receipt Bank will do that now. That's just a case of what costs are there. Auto entry does a very similar thing to Receipt Bank. HubDoc is again another Receipt Bank, but Xero recently bought HubDoc out, so they're offering that free with a starter upwards subscription of Xero. So again, if it's a cost issue and you want the functionality and you want the efficiencies, HubDoc is as good a alternative as anything. It's not quite as good as Receipt Bank, but it's getting there. It will improve with time. It's not as old. It's not as advanced, but it's free, so it does the trick. Trip Catcher. This is what we use for our mileage claims. Again, it works off postcodes. You can GPS track it. Trip Catcher, you do a monthly or weekly mileage claim. You can send that straight into Xero, or you can send it into Receipt Bank. We send it into Receipt Bank just generally to add it to other expenses, and then you get everything in one place. But again, that's really simple. How much time we've spent over the years trying to chase people around for mileage claims, and the fact is, if you do your mileage and you do it efficiently and quickly, there's a massive tax saving to make sure you've got all your mileage in. You get that money back tax free. You get corporation tax relief on the mileage claim. What's not to love about a quick fix to doing your mileage? And Xavier, this is a new one that's just come on board with us, and we talk about the new shiny magpie syndrome. We've absolutely had that with Xavier, and we love it. Receipt Bank have just bought it out. It's only a year old, and Xavier basically does a health check on your data in Xero. I can't tell you how many terrible Xeros we've had come in where the bookkeeping's been pretty atrocious, or inconsistent data, bank reconciliations not done properly, you name it, Xavier will spot it. Again, it's £5 a company, and for us, we're sort of looking at our client base and thinking, oh God, that's quite a lot of money. But when we track it back to how much time does it save when we don't have to go in and start setting default accounts for every client, or it's spotting where the inconsistent coding is, and it's giving that a health check. And we've got quite giddy about this one because it's like a little competition where something will come in with a health check of about 50%, and then that's our challenge then, is to see how high we can get the credit to get the health check up, so we know that the data that is in the system is absolutely spot on. So we're really loving that one at the minute. So if you need a health check on your business, or have a look at Xavier. So next in this section, we've got CRM and quotes. There's a whole host of CRM packages out there, and again, it's about looking, testing, trialing, looking at the reviews, seeing what actually will work for you. We've pulled HubSpot out as one of the top 5 CRM systems for integrating with Xero. We use Practice Ignition. it's not limited to practices. We've got quite a lot of service clients using Practice Ignition. The thing we love about it is you can put a marketing brochure with it to send out with all your proposals. You've got leads in there, so you can track what's in review, what's in draft, what's in your pipeline. You can also put a little video in there, so you might want to put a little promotional video in there to go out with your proposals. And more recently, they've integrated a payment system in there as well. So what's really cool about this now is, as people sign their proposals, they have to sign up to a method of payment too. So whether that be by card or by direct debit, and it is slightly cheaper than Go Cardless, as Go Cardless have just put their prices up. So Practice Ignition, for me, and for looking at service clients especially, is a great quoting system, great proposal system, and that integrates with Xero. It auto bills every month. We don't have to do our billing, it just auto bills. Again, the amount of time saving there is just incredible. E-commerce is a big one. If you can get Xero to integrate with your own website, with your shopping cart, with Amazon, PayPal will integrate. Again, it's doing all the heavy lifting. It's bringing all your sales down. It's bringing your sales orders in, and it's cutting out a massive section of work for you. So, we'll talk about stock systems shortly, and some of these will work with your stock systems as well. So you can get them integrating with stock systems if that's the way you work. But again, around e-commerce, you've got things like your, it's all around selling online these days. So if you are selling online, get it integrated. Cut down the amount of work trying to get your invoices back into your system. Again, we talk around stock. Anybody that wants a really good stock system, we're partners with Unleashed. That does everything from sales orders, purchase orders, customer pricing packages. You can integrate your websites into there, and then what's really cool about that is it's journaling into Xero every time you make a transaction on stock. So within your accounts package, you've got a constant stock level in there, so your accounts are accurate. So before, we were asking people what's your stock, what's your stock count at the end of the month or the end of the year, whereas now they can look at their accounts at any point in the month and know what stock they're holding, and know what impact it's got on your accounts, because stock can make or break your accounts. Again, Simpro, Vend, Deer Systems, they're all really good, well tried and tested stock systems, and there are a heap more of these as well. Vend is around, they're the point of sale tills. So again, if you've got a retail outlet, Vend is great because it manages the stock in the background, but you've got all the barcoding and the automated till systems, and again, all your sales run into Xero. Got workflow and time recording. Again, for service-led businesses, this is still relevant. Workflow Max is more complex to set up, but there's a great functionality in there, and it can track all your work in progress as well. But again, from a point of seamlessness, Practice Ignition will send jobs in as soon as somebody signs a contract. It then sets a job up in Workflow Max, and then you can time record against that, and then you can either invoice from that or track your work in progress. You can manage jobs in there. You can assign jobs to different members of the team. So similarly with Harvest, it's a time tracking tool. I know a lot of VAs use Harvest. A Minute Doc, again, is a really, really simple, cost-effective time recording package where you want to analyse time, jobs, clients, all worth having a look at. So moving on to credit control, this has been a big thing for us. We've been Chaser partners for pretty much since they started. They launched the Chase Academy last year, of which we won an award for Best Client Onboarding. And again, Chaser has inbuilt templates. It's got schedules, so you can schedule chasing of your customer ledger. For a lot of us, and especially when we're owner managers of our business, we don't like to get involved in chasing our debts. It's wanting to keep that fairly autonomous, and suggesting adding an accounts at email address, so it looks like the accounts department are chasing it, not you. But I don't know what it is about Chaser, but the wording just seems to resonate with people, and it's regular, and you know, the amount of money that is collected once Chaser just keeps ticking away. And we've had just an example of this one. We set a client up on Chaser. He had four outstanding debts that were over 12 months old, and we said, well, let's just chase it. 15 quid a month. It's far cheaper than a credit controller. So let's just set it going, automate it. The first chase that went out, he collected all 4 debts that were over 12 months old. And not only that, he got £36,000 paid 2 weeks early. And the really, really cool thing about Chaser, over and above the chasing system within Xero, is it sends a thank you. And that is a really, really, really lovely touch. It's just like, you know, thank you for paying. We really appreciate it. And that really resonates with clients. We get a lot of feedback on that from clients that are using Chaser. They really love the thank you, because, and especially one guy, when the thank you goes out, it's another touch point within your marketing that with your clients. And what's happened in the past is the clients have then picked the phone up to our clients and said, oh, you know, we just received a thank you for payment. No problem at all, mate. Oh, it's just reminded me to bring you up and place another order. So, you know, he's actually won business by using Chaser. They've just launched another product called Collector by Chaser. So when Chaser stops and people are really not paying, they can step it up and do a full credit control collection service from you as well. Banking and payments. This has been massive for clients over the years. Most of you will have heard about Go Cardless, direct debit system. This works seamlessly with Xero. It's absolutely on time saving, fantastic. So you can send an automated mandate for people to set up. You raise an invoice in Xero, you put a due date on it. On the due date, Go Cardless collects the payment. It then ships the money back to you 2 days later, pays the invoice off, sorts all the fees into the right account in Xero, transfers the money into your bank account. Absolutely everything done and dusted. Stripe, we helped a client last week with Stripe. They said, we're trying to get a payment from Paris. The IBAN number's not working, we can't get them to pay. This is overdue. The lady's really trying to pay us, but we don't know how to get it to us. So within half an hour, we'd set a Stripe up account for a client, put the link onto their invoice. I said, resend the invoice with the link on. Can they pay by card? Yes, they can. They clicked the link, paid the invoice, and on the Monday, the lady that made the payment got made redundant, and she just got her money in on time. Transfer-wise, if you're dealing in multi-currency, or you want to do batch payments, which Xero now does, TransferWise handles all the batch payments. So if you've got a lot of suppliers you need to pay every month, you can tick all the boxes on Xero within the purchase ledger, pay them in a batch. Easy peasy, saves masses of time. And of course, you've got all your integrated bank feeds as well, which right from day one have been a massive time saver. Just running from, so you've got all your data into Xero, it's all coming from different directions. Some of the data's gone out to collect money. For us, with our advisory clients, we've been partners with Futurely for a long time, and we actually beta test their product right from day one. They've got a really exciting product and it's just getting better and better. So it does a fantastic, hugely detailed 3-way cash flow forecast, so profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flow. The amount of detail we can get in is incredible. The amount of results we've got and business decisions that have been made on the back of that have been fantastic. And we had one client who, as COVID-19 hit, did 13 different scenarios about what might happen to his business if And he said the other day in a catch-up call, if we hadn't had Futurely and our forecasting running live on time, in real time, I couldn't have made the decisions about my business that I did. And it enabled him to take on, have the confidence to take on a member of staff as COVID hit, and it's elevated his business to the next level. So I can't shout about Futurely enough. It's absolutely amazing. It does dashboard reporting. So any people that aren't numbers people and that are lovely and creative and like pictures, all our dashboard reporting is in graph format, pie charts on your sales streams, cost analysis in donut rings, you name it, we can do it on Futurely. It's fantastic. They've brought out a new product called Futurely Flow. The initial part of that is free to anybody who hooks into Xero. You can upgrade to professional for about £8-10 a month. But on the free bit, you get a news feed. It analyses your sales and purchases, and it gives you really fantastic key data. For example, you're 38% more reliant on shoe social media this month than you were last month, and think about spreading the risk. If you have the paid version of Futurely Flow, you can now credit check your clients, you can insure your debts, and there's more to come. There's a product called Predict that's coming off the back of that. So it's all AI learning, it's all fantastic information, and it's all it's at the touch of a button, it's at your fingertips. You're not having to go and collect that information, another time saving. So I guess what we're saying is, follow the steps, make some, considered decisions, get help implementing, and then just make the magic happen. We've seen it, we love it, we can't shout highly enough about it. So go and make the magic happen, and just see the time savings and see what more you can do with your business once that happens. Just a huge thank you from me for listening. So just if there's any questions.
No, brilliant, Debbie, thank you. I'd not belong to a lot of that, because obviously we use quite a lot of those tools, and everything Debbie said in there was from first-hand experience from Rachel and I. It saved a lot of our time and effort with a lot of the stuff. I really like the flow stuff, although I didn't check it as much as I should do, but I really like the flow. Yeah, that's not my fault. The question for me, Debbie, there's a question in the chat there, so click chat, please add other questions in there. There's one from Amy to answer in a second. Please fire away. I suppose a bit of a big question. If you could create a dream app, what's missing, would you say, in it from that kind of app stack? Is there something, a gap you might want to fill, or
well, I think it's sort of coming. We still as a practice, we still have a little bit of disjoint, but it's only, and we've tried to sort of streamline it all into one big system, and it just doesn't work. So I guess I'm going to say it depends, and that's a bit wishy-washy, I think, but it depends on what you want from your business as to what the dream app is. It depends what problem it solves. I think for us, it's just being able to run tax straight into, run the account straight into tax, which we can pretty much do anyway with the accounting system that we've got, because we can upload trial balances. But Xero has now brought out Xero Tax, and that's developing. So, I think pretty much whatever you think of, there's an app out there to solve it.
Good. Yeah, that's pretty much true, to be fair. We've got a question from Amy. Can you link Toggle to Xero? Do you know? You can.
I don't think you can, Amy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you can, but I know you can now integrate Gmail, anything like that. So I'll find out for you. I don't know the answer to that one, to be honest. But
anyone got any questions? Any more questions for Debbie? Maybe about the apps, how to use them, what else could you do with it? Any functionality questions? No? Okay, I've got a couple here. I suppose when you obviously you said that earlier, when you were starting looking at your app stack, it was about looking at headaches and sort of problems you have in the business, just trying to identify what you do. how would you then find the relevant apps? Well, that's a bit of a silly question, but how would you kind of go about that?
Well, I think I touched on it earlier, Chris. I think it's around it's using your network. So, like I said, we try and test where relevant. So we use Go Cardless. We're going to test TransferWise. We use Practice Ignition. You know, there's a lot of things we use already that that we can help recommend to clients. We've got lots of clients using lots of different apps. So we'd say, do you mind if you're talking to this client because they're thinking about using it? So we'll pass them on and share experience. It's about sharing experience. If you look at the app marketplace, there's they do like a 5-star review. Read the reviews, and again, it's about identifying what problem you want that to solve, and then looking at the apps that are available and seeing which one more closely matches that, and then doing some research on it. All app people will do a demo. They'll have demo videos. They'll talk to you. They'll try and solve the problem for you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Can you see that question from Mark? Have you seen the Coconut Bank account before? Sorry if you've covered it. I had to join late. It says that it does everything for small business, so potentially a bank and Xero all in one. Is it a viable alternative to Xero?
I haven't seen it, Mark.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I've heard about it, but I haven't done too much research about it. So no, I'll have a look at that one. But you're more up on it than I am. We've seen a lot of the new world banks coming on board. Things like Starling, for instance. A lot of clients are using Starling. I don't know if Coconut is an all-in-one. I think a lot of banks are trying to give you information, and a lot of banks are allowing you to scan receipts and things like that. But I think you're going to go a long way to find something that gives you what Xero gives you in terms of accounting information, being able to track different departments of your business, being able to have such a diverse chart of accounts, and it's around getting the best information. It's about putting the data into your system that means something to you so you can make decisions on it. We see so many people just set Xero up with sales, and they've got sales. Well, what sales? What are they made up of? You know, what parts of the business, what income streams are they relevant to? You know, it's just sales. It doesn't tell you anything apart from how much you've invoiced. So, you know, if those systems like Coconut do that, then, you know, always worth a look.
Yeah. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll close it out there. Any final questions from anybody? Yeah. Unless something pops in, I'd like to thank Debbie and delegates for coming, attendees. Thank you very much, Debbie, for your time. Really useful. So can't speak highly enough of what Debbie and the team do, not just numbers. So please do get in touch with Debbie if you need any help or if you've got any questions to ask, and she'd be more than happy to just help. Anyway, because I know what Debbie's like, so just send some questions.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chris. Yeah, we pointed to, somebody came the other day looking for a stock system, and we pointed them to a stock system and said, go away and have a look at it. And, you know, we'll put them in touch with the guys to help them, and they had a demo on that yesterday. So, you know, always happy to point people, or, you know, if we know something that works, just give us a shout. Yeah, happy to help. And thanks for the opportunity to share some knowledge, Chris.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Right.
Quick plug then. So we've got the rest of we've got loads more speakers coming this week. I'll drop the link quickly in chat. So please do have a look and see if there's anything else you'd like to tune into. The next one is at 2 o'clock, all about cyberbullying with Nikki Eyre. And then the final one today is at 5 o'clock with Louise Paddock, all about cyber security and privacy. Thank you very much. See you later.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Broadcast.